Hello, 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 saints of God, big and small, old and young, near and far. You're truly loved by God. I'm going to tell you a little story, okay? Now, you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Okay. One day, there was a man named Bob. And Bob, every morning, Bob will take a jog through the park. And he always would run on the trail. And the trail always gave him peace. That's where he found his peace, by taking a jog in the morning time and, just having that one-on-one with self. But Bob thought that him just having that one-on-one with self, having a peace of mind, because he figured that, hey, it's the weekend, I worked all week, now I need to release some stress. So Bob would just take a jog every morning through the parks on the trail. And it made him feel good. So Bob was getting a little tired. And normally, Bob wouldn't get tired because Bob was in pretty good shape. So he knew that this jog is nothing. I do this every morning. I work out, I eat right. Bob was saying, like, why am I tired? Like he was kind of losing his breath. He was like, he couldn't catch his breath and he didn't know why. So there was a bench that was in the park that was ahead of him. So he kind of jogged up a little closer and then he began to sit on the bench. And he was puzzled. He was like, what's wrong with me? I know I'm healthy. He said, I just had a physical and the doctor didn't find anything. Why I can't breathe? He said, I feel like I'm losing my breath. So he was like, maybe I need to just take a sip of water. It's kind of hot. And so he was like, he took a sip of water and so he began to exhale a little bit. But as he began to exhale, his breath started leaving him a little bit more. He started choking because he couldn't breathe. He didn't know what was going on. He started panicking and he started drinking more and more water. And as he drank the water, he began to choke, but because he couldn't breathe. So Bob was like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? So all of a sudden, Bob heard a voice, a still small voice. And this voice called out his name. So Bob looked around. He was like, I know I'm the only one in the park. He tried to speak, but he couldn't speak that well, but he was like, I'm the only one in the park. Who is this? So he was like, maybe I'm just delusional because, I don't feel well right now. I can't breathe. So the voice called his name out again. Bob. Bob. He was like, who is this? He said, this is the God I am. He said, you don't know me. He said, I am Lord of Lords. I am God of God. I'm the one who sits up high and looks down low. He said, you don't know me. He said, yeah, you're right. I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. He said, what's going on with me? So the voice began to tell him. He said, Bob, the breath of life is leaving your body. And Bob said, why? Why? Because you don't know the one who gave you the breath in the first place. And Bob began to cry. And Bob began to just weep. Bob said, who are you? Bob, I told you I am who I am. I am the father of Abraham, of Moses, and Jacob. You don't know me, but you will. He said, why do I need to know you? Why do I need to know you? I can't even see you. I can't even see you. Why do I need to know you? Because through me is how you get your breath back. It is how you're going to be able to breathe. Life is being taken away from you because you indulge in sin. He said, Bob, you're killing yourself. You're sucking the life out of yourself. He said, without me, you're the walking dead. Bob said, I'm sorry. And then the voice got quiet. And then all of a sudden, there was a man jogging. And he saw how Bob was kind of trying to catch his breath. And he was like, sir, are you okay? He was like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. He said, I need help. He said, what kind of help you need? I need to know God. So the man began to say, I know what you need. And he said, you remember, I got to tell you something. You cannot get to the Father except through the Son. He said, but I know you can't hardly breathe. He said, but I want you to repeat after me. He said, God favors you today because I'm a pastor. And I also run through the park every morning. But I know God. And I have received the Son. So he said, Bob, repeat after me. So he told Bob what to say. And Bob received Jesus. Bob repented of his sins. And after Bob repented of his sins, he heard the voice again. And the voice spoke to Bob. And he didn't call his name this time. He gave an order. He gave a commandment. He said, breathe. Then all of a sudden, Bob began to breathe. There was no more shortness of the breath. Bob could breathe. So the man whom was the pastor, the jogger, he said, Bob, it cannot stop here. You must continue on this journey. We are all witnesses of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I want you to come to my church, and I want to teach you more about what has happened to you today. And as you learn, I want you to witness to someone else. This is your day that you are favored by God. Because Bob, this is what the man told him. You got work to do. Love you, everyone. Be blessed.